Welcome, runners, to the Great American 5000 Recap Show presented by Buddy. I'm your host, Casey Baum, with leaderboard updates for Monday, June 22nd. There really aren't many changes to the leaderboard, just the changes in the miles, so we'll cover that now. The Ultra Open 12-person category is still led by ultra running in Nairobi with 1,108 miles. The Ultra Co-Ed 12-person category is still led by the team with all the numbers, which is the Fibonacci sequence. I feel like they could have just used the word Fibonacci sequence instead of all the numbers, with 1,371 miles. The Ultra Female 12-person category is still led by New York Athletic Club with 730 miles. Joining me on today's show is Esther and Roberta from Team New York Athletic Club. The female 24-person category is still led by MRTT, No Holding Us Back, with 748 miles. The co-ed 24-person category is still led by Just Us Runners with 1,174 miles. The open 24-person category and still the overall leader in the Great American 5000 is the Mashingo Misha Track Club with 1,653 miles. We're a little over a week since the Great American 5000 started, and the runners and teams are absolutely cruising across the country. Congratulations to all the runners and all the teams out there. Joining me today from Team New York Athletic Club is Esther Atkins and Roberta Groner, both elite marathon runners. Esther won the 2014 World Marathon Championships, qualifying for the 2016 Olympic Trials, and Roberta is a sub-2:30 marathon runner, placing 6th at last year's World Championships in Doha. I had an awesome time chatting with them. Check it out. Well, thanks Esther and Roberta for joining us today. Really appreciate you guys being on. You are on Team New York Athletic Club. You all are leading the ultra female 12-person category, and Esther, you were just mentioning that you guys are right behind the 24-person team. How's everything going so far with the race for your team?
It's fun because I was the one who initially reached out to the team. We're on a team anyway in New York. So I just reached out to the team and asked if anybody was interested, and I got more feedback than I expected. A lot of people were actually pretty excited about doing it. And then I kind of let the ball drop a little bit until it was time to sign up. And then we had almost 20 people who wanted to do it, but it was like, well, let's just pick the people who we actually think will be able to put in over 30 miles a week. Ended up with a pretty good 12-person team. And a cheerleader too. So it's been fun. I'm just building up mileage right now, and so this was like the perfect event for where I'm at in terms of my training, because I've been coming back from injury. So it's like I can't run fast, but I can run a decent amount right now.
Right. So how did you go about selecting the team? Are you guys taking this as pretty competitive? Definitely want to win your category?
I was just interested in, for me, being part of the team aspect, and that we're already on a team together. And of course, I think we all are a little bit competitive, so it's always fun to win or try to win. And for me, it was more also just getting my mileage back up. I've been running, when I was training for marathons at like 105, and I've been kind of in the 60s, 50s range. So I'm trying to get back up into the 70s to 80s.
Yeah, I think for most of us, it was like looking for some meaning to the miles. Because we don't have races necessarily to train for. Normally all of us would be doing like certain summer races for the New York Roadrunner series, and we would be preparing for a fall marathon. But like now that everything's kind of up in the air and we don't have anything specific to train for, it's kind of perfect to just put in some miles and get a base down.
What sort of strategies are you all employing with your teams? Are you guys staying in close contact with who's doing what, or is it sort of like as many miles as anyone can do in a day?
I think we're all just running what we want at this point, right? I think that's for the most part.
Yeah, it was like, hey, it's just a way for us to follow each other a little bit and see what we're doing.
Yeah.
And we have a little bit of a strategy. And so part of it is, a nice thing about this is that normally most of the team is actually located in New York City. Roberta lives in New Jersey and I live in South Carolina, but most of them are in the city. But right now, actually, many of them are outside of the city anyway because of COVID. So this is a way for them to kind of keep in touch with each other as well. And so one of our strategies for the people who actually are still in the city is they walk all the time. So if they're actually like doing a destination walk, then as long as we're not actually meeting our 24 hours anyway, they might as well put in some walking miles, and go ahead and log those too. So that's a little bit of strategy that's helpful for those of us who live in a big city.
Yeah, I was speaking with another team earlier today, and they kind of gave that hint away that it's not just the running miles that they're tracking all of their walking miles as well. So that's a tip for some of the other teams out there. What are your thoughts on virtual events, and how does this compare to sort of the in-person events that you all have competed in so often?
I haven't really done, I mean, I've done a couple so far, and I think it's more just for me, like it's been like a virtual 5K or a 10K, and it was more just to kind of do as a workout. I mean, I'm enjoying the aspect of seeing the runs on the virtually, and also the like the team aspect we're having with this race is fun to have. So I'm enjoying it. It's just different, I feel like, compared to obviously a real race and training. So
yeah, it's always different to actually just run into all of your friends, because like, on the level that Roberta and I have been on, it's like you know the same people, you see them everywhere, and you only get certain times of the year where you get to actually spend time with them. And so that's part of what I definitely miss when I'm doing something virtually versus in person. Like nothing really makes up for the like bumping into people who you're not necessarily going to reach out to if you're not in the same place.
Yeah. Talk to me a little bit about your approach to running. I know you both have been at a ultra competitive level for a long time. How has your approach to running changed over the years, if at all?
Oh, well, I mean, more recently for me, I mean, I was training at such a competitive level or high level. This COVID actually has brought me back down to just kind of, I was probably at a point where maybe I was on the risk of injury. So for me, this has been like taking some time to just recover, enjoy running, and not so much putting in a lot of mileage in races that I was putting in before in the fall and the previous summer. So, so like my training over the years has progressed drastically, but right now I'm just taking it down and just enjoying the moment and of running, not necessarily racing.
Right.
Yeah. Running has changed quite a bit for me over the last few years. Just my peak was probably somewhere around 2013 to 2015, maybe 2016. And I've just been dealing with what Roberta was kind of implying a little bit about herself, is like she really hit this huge peak right at 2019. I mean, she had an incredible double at Doha and then New York, and then ran very respectably at the trials until things didn't go as well. But like she's been really on top of the world, and it's like you have to be so careful when you come off of that to make sure that like you recover properly. And I think I kind of took things for granted and ended up kind of doing some damage to myself. So that's part of why I've been spending a couple of years like kind of rebuilding and learning the ropes of injury and come back it over and over again. But now it's like, I definitely don't take it for granted that I can run 50 miles a week, and I'm pumped to be able to contribute that to a team effort.
Yeah. Well, I know there's so much up in the air right now with this pandemic and COVID-19. Are your plans for the rest of the year up in the air as well, or is there anything you both have your sights set on coming up?
I mean, for me, it was a fall marathon. I was going to attempt to try to break the American record in the Masters age group of 40 to 45 or 40 to 44. That is still kind of in the talks, but it's so up in the air with obviously not being possibly any type of fall marathon this year. So I think I'm going to go into July starting training for it, and then see what happens from there.
Yeah, and like I said, I was just coming back from injury, so there was no big plans in the books for me. Just to feel strong again and actually run healthy.
Well, Esther and Roberta, thanks so much for joining us for the recap show. Your team, the New York Athletic Club, is doing an awesome job, and we'll be watching the leaderboard. And congratulations on your success so far, and good luck getting all the way to New York.
Thanks for giving me time to put on my uniform.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you all. We'll talk soon. Have a great one. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much to Esther and Roberta for joining me today. I had a great time chatting with them. I hope you had a great time listening to it. Please drop us a comment, subscribe to the channel so you can get all the updates on the Great American 5000. Until next time, I'm Casey Baum with Buddy. Stay fearless out there.